It's all about me.
This is the Dan Patrick Show podcast.
There is more where that came from.
Click back for new episodes all week long. Broadcasting from the Mercedes Man Cave, here's Dan Patrick.
Final hour on this Monday. Best and worst of the weekend. Dan and the Danettes. Minus Seton O'Connor. He'll join us tomorrow when we're in New York City. Trey Young will join us in the Man Cave. And Kevin Costner. You know, there's certain people we've had on this show when they walk in, and you just have a different feel, a different impression of them. When Keanu Reeves walked in, first of all, he was younger looking than we thought. He was in great shape. He looked great, and he's 50. And he walked in, and there was no entourage. I think there was just one other person with him. He just came in and goes, "Hey, Dan." I said, "Hey, great to have you." And he goes, "Yeah, fan of the show." I'm like, "Okay." You know, I was waiting for him to go Matrix on me and like move around in slow motion, and or maybe he would do Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Like there was all these things you thought, and then he was not what you thought he was going to be. But he was a true movie star when he came in. Kevin Costner came in that first time, and he walked in, and you go, "That's a movie star. He's a movie star." Dennis Quaid came in. Billy Bob Thornton came in. When Billy Bob Thornton came in, you're like, okay. Because that's one of those guys where you go, man, women love him. Like, maybe I don't get it. And then all of a sudden he walks in and you go, all right, he was just cool. He had swag, man. And by the way, second season of Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton. Watch it. Yes, Paul.
Once in a while we have a big time celebrity and they don't want to leave. They just enjoy talking sports.
Costner didn't want to leave that day.
We had to tell him that his people were waiting. They're like, we got to go. We had Chris Rock in once. He's supposed to do 15 minutes. 45 minutes later, you and Chris Rock are talking about the Knicks, and his people are like, we got to go. We got Good Morning America or whatever it is, and they were freaking out.
Bryan Cranston came in, was a big deal. I think when Ron Burgundy came in, when Will came in as Ron Burgundy, that's one of those moments where you go, Ron Burgundy's here in our little man cave here. Paul. And
they were all genuinely excited to be on the show, and they were happy to be there. You know, I know they're actors and they could pretend, but they had a great rapport with you. They're not looking at their watches. They're not like rolling their eyes or acting like they're antsy and they're doing somebody a favor just to see how many interviews they can do.
But do you think somebody could have been acting like they wanted to be there? I never know, because they are actors, but I don't know if somebody was acting like they wanted to be there. Yeah, Paul.
Jay Farrow, the comedian on SNL, really talented. He wasn't acting, but when he came in the room, he was kind of quiet at first. And he looks at me and goes, "Tell me when we're live on the air." I go, "Okay, it's like 20 seconds." He goes, "Okay." And he was chilling, talking. And as soon as we cued live, it's like he went into his act. He went into performing and was on for the next half hour.
Kareem came in. And that's when I went, oh boy. Because, Kareem is just different. I don't know if he's shy, whatever it is, being in a crowd. And he came in and he was just, his eyes took inventory of the entire man cave in New York. And he wasn't making eye contact. And, I was trying to make small talk with him. And I went, oh no. And then all of a sudden, I just talked about playing at the West 4th Street Cage, high school basketball. And then I touched on Jackie Robinson and the Brooklyn Dodgers. And then after that, we were good to go. So much so, the people who did a documentary on Kareem for HBO called to ask if they felt that, I got more out of Kareem. They wish they would have gotten. I mean, they were very complimentary to say he's not an easy guy to interview, and you got a lot out of Kareem. But that's just by luck, because I was just sort of fishing for what could I get him to latch onto, where he would just sort of exhale. Because it's about trust when you sit down with somebody. People will always ask about how do you interview. I have to gain your trust, and there's a variety of ways that I try to do that. I want you to know I've done my homework. I want you to know that I'm going to challenge you. I'm inquisitive, hopefully respectable, or, to you as a person. There might be topics that we have that are uncomfortable. But if you're sitting down, then you have to trust me that we'll do it. I'll do it in a professional way. But there are times when, like Keanu Reeves, that's not in my wheelhouse, where you go, okay, we wanted to have him in because of Point Break and, a variety of things. But he probably surprised me more than any guest we've ever had, because I had no idea what we were going to get. And when he left, I went, that dude was awesome. Like, he really was. And I couldn't help but like him. And then all of a sudden I'm going, John Wick is on. I'm watching it. John Wick 2, I'm watching. I was all in on Keanu Reeves. I just had this different take on him, and he surprised me the most. Yeah, McLovin.
I think with Trey Young is interesting too. The Danettes have a scouting technique. We scout potential NBA and NFL picks by how big they are when they come to the man cave. And the big issue with him is size. Is he going to be taller than Seton? Is he going to be bigger than Paulie? So we'll form an entire. We still base Marcus Mariota on the one interview we had in person 4 years ago in the man cave.
Lamar Jackson when he came in, when Manziel came in,
RG3 at the EA Sports Party.
Yeah, I thought, man, that guy is like, he built like a swimsuit model. Like he looked sinewy. And I'm thinking, man, good thing he's fast, because if they catch him, they're going to break him in half. Yeah, Paul.
And then Jameis Winston was the opposite. Like, that's a full-grown person right there. He's ready to handle the physicality of the NFL.
Was there anybody else who came in where we just went, wow?
Bigger, like physically impressive?
When Glenn Fry of the Eagles came in.
Oh, as far as cool?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, Glenn Fry was awesome.
And John Fogerty, where all of a sudden you're going, this is a pretty good job. And we got, like, they're in studio with us. Yeah, Paul.
I think when Senator McCain walked into this building in Little Milford, Connecticut, I'm like, what is this guy was inches away from being the president of the United States, and he's walking in this little building we have here.
The fact that he felt bad because we were in New York and he couldn't make it, and he had to bail at the last minute. And he felt so bad that he flew into Hartford, Connecticut, and then I think he was going to New York, but he went to Hartford, Connecticut, landed, and then drove here to the man cave, which is about an hour drive, just so he could make good on his promise to be on the show. And then I asked him, I said, look, I'd like to get you some Dan Patrick Show gear. And he goes, tell me how much it cost. And I said, no, it's free. I'm going to give it to you. He goes, no, I can't accept it. And I said, okay. So I said, give me your home address. I'm going to send you some stuff. He said, all right, and then let me know how much it's going to cost. So he sent me back a check for $200 for DP Show gear. I never cashed it because I was like, I can't cash it. But he was, then you see that documentary on HBO with Senator McCain and everything he went through. He doesn't have use of one of his arms there because of the torture that he went through for 5 years. I hope he had a great Father's Day. I hope he did. Yes, McLean.
One that stuck with me, it's a little bizarre, but Alex Trebek, when he came in the man cave, I'm like, whoa, this is the man. I know you became friends with him afterwards, but to me, I was like, that's Alex Trebek. He's so cool.
When I was doing Sports Jeopardy, and it's on the same set with all the people at Jeopardy, and they thought, maybe it'd be great if we had Alex go out to dinner with you. And I go, okay. And Alex is just a tough dude. Like he is a tough guy. And so I didn't want him to think that I was auditioning to take Jeopardy. Like I hope he does it for 20 years because it's really difficult to do that. And so we eventually got around to, we went to dinner and, I'm trying to, I don't even know what to say because it's sort of that awkward, it's like an arranged date, arranged marriage. And then all of a sudden we just relaxed and just started talking. And then it was just fun. And I always appreciated that he took time out and he gave me some tips on how to do it. He never felt threatened and he shouldn't have felt threatened. But yeah, that was one of those. I'm very grateful that I got a chance to go to dinner with him. Yeah, Paul.
At Pebble Beach a few months ago, when we were there for the Pro-Am, and we got the word that Clint Eastwood was driving over. Yeah. They were bringing over Clint Eastwood, and we've been trying to get him on the show for years and years. I almost lost my mind. I was yelling at people, and I'm like, all right, everyone tighten up, get it together. And I was losing it. Like, McClung goes, hey, dude, it's going to be okay. Yeah. Like, I know, but it's Clint Eastwood. This is our one chance. Let's make sure we have a proper entrance for him, make sure he gets a bottle of water. I was freaking out.
That's a big-time star.
Yeah.
That's a big-time star. But, we've been fortunate. Even Bill Murray, when we were at the pairings party at Pebble Beach, and then Paulie, Paulie doesn't get too far out of his character there. I mean, his world, he's like, Bill's over there. I said, yeah. I said, but, I don't know if he's going to come over. Let's just kind of play it cool. You never know with Bill. So I walked over. I said, come on, let's go. Because I thought, let me just get it out of the way. And I said, hey, Bill. He goes, hey, Dan. So I hadn't seen him in a while. Hey, Bill. Hey, Dan. I said, this is my producer for my show, Paul Paps. Hi, Paul. And I go, oh, no. So
it wasn't bad. It was just quick. I was fine with it.
And then I said, look, I just wanted to say hello to you. And it's not like there wasn't tension. It was just, that's Bill. And there could have been, another time where he would be, very effusive and chatty and all those things. But it was brief. So I said,
box check.
I know. I said, hey, Bill, well, good luck this week. And, we'll see you. And so he said, yeah. And so then he's walking out of the pairings party. And then Paulie goes, Bill Murray's coming over. I said, no, he's leaving. No, he's walking this way. I said, no, he's walking out, Paulie.
He meanders like a shark through a crowd. He never stands with one person too long.
Oh, man. That was tough. But fun, Best and worst of the weekend. By the way, Dan Patrick Show brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. If you missed any of the interviews from the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event Man Cave this week, go to the Dan Patrick Show app. You can watch and listen from inside the Mercedes-Benz Man Cave. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Fritzy, best and worst of the weekend.
My best was when reports came out that Kawhi Leonard wanted out of San Antonio, leaving us all to wonder if Kawhi, LeBron, and Paul George together on the Lakers would look interesting. Worst, a messy miss and an Argentina team lacking chemistry had to settle for a 1-1 tie with Iceland on Saturday.
Paulie, best and worst.
Late Saturday night, turn on the TV looking for something to watch. I find the USA men's national rugby team in one of the biggest victories in USA rugby history. In 94 years, they beat Scotland. 30-29, number 6 in the world, Scotland. It was really, Scotland had the last kick to try to tie it up, but it was a really huge win for USA Rugby.
McLovin?
My best, of course, Thomas Paul Fleetwood, who almost got me the number 1 spot at the DP show.
You avoided a shower of shame.
I avoided it with glory. Yeah. Sunday morning, I'm looking at a shower of shame and Fleetwood gets hot. Yeah. My worst, and I will not give away anything here, but I finally saw the Avengers movie. I'm just going to say the end. That is all I will say. I won't give it away anymore. The end of the Avengers movie is the worst of my weekend.
Oh, so the ending was bad or the movie was bad?
The movie was good. The ending was dissatisfactory. And by the way, the numbers of how much money this movie have made are breathtaking. It's crazy. It's going to be the third most highest grossing movie of all time.
It's a couple of billion right now, right?
Yes, it's coming after the ones at Avatar and I think the Titanic are the only two that will end up being higher than it.
Who's in the Avengers? Is that all the superheroes?
It's everybody. It's like Chris Pratt is in it. Mark Ruffalo, one of the Hemsworths. It's got like 100 different people in it.
Scarlett Johansson.
Josh Brolin plays the bad guy. He's actually very good. But yeah, Scarlett Johansson.
How many other Avenger movies have I missed?
You've missed like 15, and you have to have seen them to understand everything going on.
Yeah, Paul.
You would not believe the star power in this movie. I know nothing about these movies. It's just Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Don Cheadle, Benedict Cumberbatch. I'll keep going. Tom Hiddleston, Paul Bettany, Anthony Mackie, Peter Dinklage, Vin Diesel. Is this for real?
Tom Hiddleston. I forgot. Your guy, the night manager's in there.
Bradley Cooper is a voice. Benicio del Toro. Gwyneth. Is anyone else? Who's not in it? I got 3 guys. Josh Brolin, Chris Pratt.
Michael Caine doesn't get credit, but he shows up in there too.
Michael Caine.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Marvel movies throw everything in the kitchen sink, but people are invested. And there's a new one. Brie Larson plays the next superstar. They've Captain Marvel. She's the next big money thing. And
yeah, I don't.
You take this lightly, but people are talking about the merger. The possible entertainment mergers are all about getting control of the Marvel characters. There's so much money involved in it. Like gigantic companies hinge on these kinds of things.
Does this have to do with the AT&T merger?
No, but it's the Comcast, Disney, Fox.
Oh.
Fox has a lot of Marvel rights, and Disney has a lot of Marvel rights. So it's that big a deal.
Man,
Deadpool is could join up with the Avengers down the road.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet.
Yeah, that's what are you hearing?
I heard really good stuff about it, and I think Ryan Reynolds is awesome.
So if you like Deadpool, then you might be open to the Marvel universe. Black Panther. Well, you didn't love Black Panther,
but I thought that Deadpool is kind of mocking all of this.
Yes,
that's what I loved about it.
Yes,
and he's a disfigured superhero. And he's a flawed superhero.
Very much so. You're right. It is different.
Yeah, I love that. I love disfigured superheroes. I can relate to that for a second.
That old bit.
This July NBC Sports Championship season continues. The world's best golfers vie for the coveted Claret Jug and the chance to be crowned champion golfer of the year. Don't miss the Open on Golf Channel and NBC. We'll take a break. We'll check in with the San Antonio Spurs. The likelihood Kawhi Leonard will be traded. Likelihood he'll be traded to a Western Conference team. The likelihood that he could be traded to the Lakers. We'll find out next year on the Dan Patrick Show.
Support for the Dan Patrick Show comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that home plays a big role in your life and family, and that's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, with Rocket Mortgage, you get a transparent online process that gives you the confidence to make an informed decision. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. And in addition to getting a real mortgage approval in minutes, you can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully. Mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Dan, equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLS, consumeraccess.org, number 3030.
On your mark, get set, go. Double Dare is back on Nickelodeon. That's right, the first and the best game show for kids returns Monday, June 25th at 8. Monday at 8, Double Dare legend Mark Summers is teaming up with new host Laser Koshi to bring you more mind-boggling trivia, larger-than-life obstacles, big prizes, and more slime than ever before. Gear up for the messiest game show on TV. The all-new Double Dare premieres Monday, June 25th at 8. That's Monday at 8 on Nickelodeon.
Full Sail University is ready for you. Are you ready for Full Sail University? Would you like to be a broadcaster? Would you like to earn a bachelor's degree in sportscasting? Because we have that available for you. The Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. Go to fullsail.edu/Dan Patrick. Got a great advisory board. Ed Gorin used to be with Fox Sports and CBS. Bill Simmons is on there as well. Guest faculty, Sage Steele and Jay Harris, Kevin Nagandi, Jeremy Schaap. So we got a lot of people in the business who are helping with this as well. Gus Ramsey was not a highlight supervisor at ESPN. He was so much more than that. He was a producer, coordinating producer, and he's the man in charge. He was there at ESPN for 20 years. So he is my lead man on the ground at Full Sail University. So if this is something you want to do, we'd love to have you, and you'd be able to learn behind the scenes, in front of the camera, podcast, esports. We're doing all of that. So go to fullsail.edu/Dan Patrick to learn more. Check in with the San Antonio Spurs. We'll talk to Jeff Mcdonald, the lead Spurs writer for the San Antonio Express News. He's been covering the team since 2007. Let me see, get another phone call here. Travis in San Diego. Hey, Travis, what do you have for me?
Dan, I was just calling the best and worst, and then I thought on Mr. Mickelson.
All right.
For a worst, I will say the USGA. I thought they did a very poor job of managing the course, especially from Saturday to Sunday, and they caved to the pressure. And then for a best, Brooks Koepka, he was stoned, especially with the putter, getting everything up and down. And then also, I thought Fox did a great job. I loved all the microphones, especially some of the explicit language that my 13-year-old didn't appreciate, or his mom didn't appreciate, but really enjoyed the coverage over the weekend.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Travis. Yeah, I mentioned the USGA. You can't have 4 different golf courses, and that's what they had. Each day was a different golf course. If you're going to have it at these historical sites, then just let the golf course be part of it. And I thought that the USGA became, they hijacked the story here. Yeah, Paul.
Don't you think it would also been better if the USGA made it normal on Thursday, and then if guys were going too low, you could tweak it then, pin placements to make it a little harder as you go along?
I don't think you have to do what they did. I just think if this is the venue, this is the course, then play the course. Not, hey, we're going to have it at Pebble, but we got to make it tougher. Okay, there's certain things that you would do. Just make a tournament tough. That's all. But don't make it humiliating, embarrassing. And I thought that's what they did. The USGA hijacked the U.S. Open. And I don't think we're going to remember because Brooks Koepka went back-to-back. We're going to remember because Phil Mickelson had a 15-second mental lapse where he did something embarrassing. And how tough that golf course was. But it's already a tough golf course. Like, oh my God, they're going to go 4 under today. Okay, it's all right. Not everybody's going 4 under, by the way. Oh my God, they're shooting 66s. We got to make this so fat. Oh, look at Chambers Bay. How embarrassing that was. You don't have to do that. I'm going to guess if you have a golf course and you're proud of the golf course, then let the golf course stand on its own. All right. Get off my soapbox. Jeff Mcdonald, lead Spurs writer for the San Antonio Express News. He joins us now. He's been covering the team since 2007. All right, Jeff, how did we get to this point with Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs?
It sort of became almost a snowball that was rolling downhill that I guess people didn't realize the snowball was rolling until it was rolling. And then by the time you kind of realized it was an avalanche. But I think really the disagreement, I guess, or the rift would be about his rehab from a quad injury. That really dates back to the season before last. And, he wasn't, I guess, happy or satisfied with the treatment he was getting from the team medical staff, and so he and his camp took that into their own hands beginning in August of last year, and it just never got better, and it led to some frustration on the team side because they weren't really getting the information. They thought they were basically out of the loop on their franchise player, and there's really been just distrust zone on both sides of the issue, and nothing has really happened to close that gap, and in fact it seems to be widening, and that's sort of where we get to where we are now. As recently as March, he was still telling people he was planning on playing last season. He was even his camp was getting specific dates that he planned to be back on the floor, and those dates would come and go. And his teammates were getting kind of flummoxed by the whole deal because, hey, Kawhi said he was going to play this game. Now he's not playing. Where is he? He's in New York rehabbing. He's not even in San Antonio. And so there was just this distrust and discord on each side. And then you start to look at it from the Spurs perspective. They grew suspicious that perhaps this isn't even really about the quad at all, but it's a way for his camp to get him out of San Antonio altogether to get him to a bigger market. And that's sort of where we are today, where it appears that he is asking to be shipped out of San Antonio.
Who has leverage here?
That is an excellent question. I think both sides sort of have a little bit of leverage when you're talking about a trade because, Kawhi can, his contract is he can opt out of not this season, but next season, 2 seasons from now. So if a team is going to trade for him and give up assets for him and great assets for him, they're going to want some assurances that he's going to sign with them long term. So when you hear people say, well, they should trade into Phoenix for the #1 overall pick and Josh Jackson, well, does Phoenix want to give overall pick, and Josh Jackson for a guy they're going to have for basically 1 year. Or probably going to have for 1 year. Well, probably not. So Kawhi has a little leverage that way. But if Kawhi only wants to go to the Lakers, the Spurs are under no obligation to only trade him to the Lakers. I mean, they can trade him to wherever they can get the best deal, and it's sort of a how does it balance? Because you're going to get better assets from a team where Kawhi might conceivably want to play long term as opposed to where he could play short term. So I think both sides have a little bit of leverage when it comes to a trade.
Yeah, Jeff, if I'm the Spurs, why would I gift wrap something to the Lakers if I thought Paul George and LeBron James were going to? I don't want to have Kawhi haunt me in a variety of ways, including on a more frequent basis if he's still in the Western Conference. So why do we just assume? I know he wants to go to Los Angeles, but why do we just assume that that deal could happen with the Lakers and Spurs?
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that's definitely part of the calculus there. And the other thing is, I'm not positive the Lakers can give the best package of picks and players. I think when you're the Spurs, if you're going to trade Kawhi Leonard, obviously you're not going to get a top 5 player for him at this point. So what you're looking for probably is some package of a guy or guys you could plausibly be considered future stars, future all-stars, plus a lottery pick. The Lakers don't have picks. Their first-round pick is actually worse than the number 18 that the Spurs have this year, and I don't believe the Lakers have a first-round pick at all next year. So if the Spurs are looking for picks, the Lakers aren't really going to be able to put together a package that would entice them. But I also think if the Lakers, if there's no other market for him, if the Spurs can't get what they're looking for from Boston or Philly or someone else that hasn't really been mentioned, you got to trade him to where you can get the best players. And if it makes the Lakers better for a while, it makes the Lakers better for a while. I think if you trade Kawhi Leonard, probably at this point and you're the Spurs, you're not a title contender anymore anyway. So what real difference does it make if other teams are? I mean, I think if you're the Spurs, you've got to do the best you can do to get the most you can get back. I just don't think the Lakers are going to be that team. I mean, they might be, but I don't think they're going to be.
How long do you think Pop would last with Lonzo/LeVar Ball?
I think if that trade were made on Monday, Pop would retire on Tuesday. see what happens. But they've dealt a little of this with Kawhi. Has been dealing with his uncle, a guy called Dennis Robertson, who's basically Kawhi's. Not his agent. He has an agent, but it's his business advisor. But Dennis Robertson is the one that's basically running Kawhi's affairs right now, and there's definitely a disconnect between him and Pop and R.C. Buford. I mean, the way I've described Dennis Robertson to people, he's sort of like LeVar Ball, except without all the publicity. You've never heard of him, but behind the scenes, he's that kind of demanding character, and that relationship hasn't worked out well between him and the Spurs brass for sure.
How long is Pop going to do this?
That's an excellent question, too, that people have been asking for a long time. I think everyone assumed, he's taking over Team USA in 2020, and we always assumed that was going to be the transition out of the NBA. What's sort of thrown a wild card in everything is, the personal tragedy that he went through during the playoffs and losing his wife, and we don't really know, where he is right now in terms of next season. From what I've heard, he's recently started to re-engage in the, day-to-day business of the Spurs, kind of the normal day-to-day off-season stuff. They were out so early this year in April that normally up until about a couple weeks ago, he would have been kind of on vacation and out of the loop anyway. So I have heard that he's sort of starting to re-engage with the team, and I believe at this point they're expecting him to continue. And if that's true, I think we go back to the other timetable where he's transitioning into that Team USA role in 2020, and so maybe he takes a year off before that to kind of calibrate himself. Maybe he goes right into it, but I don't see. This is just kind of me guessing and me talking, but I don't really see him being the coach of the Spurs and coaching in the Olympics at the same time. He could do it if he wanted to. There's no rule against it. It just seems natural to me that would be the transition point. And he's going to be 70 this season. I mean, he's getting to that age where you have to think about it anyway. I remember he used to talk about Jerry Sloan all the time. I mean, Jerry Sloan was his idol, but he was like, I'm never going to be a lifer like Jerry Sloan. I'm never going to do that. That sounds horrible. And all of a sudden we're at age 70 and he's still going. So, I think the end is near, but I'm not sure it's this season.
All right, I'll leave you with this, Jeff. Best case scenario, I'm talking to you in October. Kawhi Leonard is where?
Best case scenario?
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think is going to happen?
Most likely scenario.
Yeah, most likely.
I don't think he's on the Spurs, but at this point I couldn't guess where he is. But I think there's a chance we may know before Thursday when the draft happens. So.
Oh, really?
There's a chance. I mean, I think if you're going to trade him, you want to get in on this draft and get some of these lottery picks. So I think I don't think they will rush anything, but I think there is definitely that's one milepost you might want to look at hitting if you can do it. Is to get up there at the top end of this draft because it's a pretty top heavy draft.
Well, maybe I don't wait till October to talk to you, Jeff. Maybe I'm talking to you on Friday.
That's all right. Call me back.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate your time. That's Jeff Mcdonald, the lead Spurs beat writer for the San Antonio Express News. Yeah, I think we want this to happen because we want to have somebody challenge the Golden State Warriors. So you put LeBron and Paul George and Kawhi and you put them with the Lakers. Okay, what are you giving up to get everybody? What's the roster like there? And can you get all of these pieces here? That's what I want to know. Because not many guys go, hey, you don't have to give me the max. It's not a sign and trade. I'm just going to go to that team. Because if you just go to the team, then all of a sudden it's different. But if you're going to give up pieces to get me, what are you going to have? And can you give up the pieces to get these players? Yeah, boy.
How excited or how cautious should you be if you're a Lakers fan? Over the past week, the odds for LeBron have gone towards the Lakers. You start hearing that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George has said before he wants to. Like, if you're a Laker fan, you got to be going out of your mind right now.
But if I can get LeBron and Paul George, I'm thrilled. But I don't think I can get Paul George, Kawhi, and LeBron. But if I can get LeBron and Paul George and still have a little bit of that youth there, then I feel pretty good about this. But what you have to understand is I would rather have Kawhi than I would LeBron. Because Kawhi can be there for a longer period of time. I might get LeBron playing at a high level for 2 years, maybe 3 more years. I could get Kawhi for 10 years or 8 years. And then I got Paul George. So what am I giving up to get LeBron and or Paul George or Kawhi Leonard? And, where else? I would love to have Kuzma still with the team. I'd love to have Ingram still with the team. I think Lonzo Ball's expendable, but who's going to want Lonzo Ball because you got to bring in his dad with him as well. So there's still a lot attached to it. But if I'm a Laker fan, at least we have a pulse and the chance to get 2 of the top 10, 15 players with LeBron and Paul George. That's pretty exciting. But I don't think we can all, just jump into the deep end and go, and we're getting Kawhi as well, and we're going to get Kyrie, and, we're going to get Boogie Cousin. I mean, you're going to build this super team to compete with Golden State. We'd like for it to happen, but it's not that easy. All right, we're back. Last call for phone calls and what we learned, close-up shot after this Dan Patrick Show.
Here are some useful tips you might not be aware of. Coffee filter and a little bit of olive oil can clean the interior of your car. Removing excess weight from your car will improve gas mileage, duh. And you could place your key fob to your chin to increase its range. Weird, right? But here's another tip you might not know about. TrueCar also helps people get used cars. That's right. TrueCar isn't just for new cars. It is for new cars. But with their certified dealer network and nationwide inventory of 1 million used cars, you'll enjoy real pricing on actual inventory and a simpler buying experience, whether you need a new or used car. And with TrueCar, users can see what others paid, so they know what they're getting and if they're getting a good deal before buying. Look, see, you know me, I'm always looking at cars. I found a 91 Land Cruiser, legit, Alabama, checked it out, VIN number, all the information, felt safe, good job. TrueCar, good for used cars as well. They're more likely to enjoy a faster buying experience by connecting with TrueCar certified dealers. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, check out TrueCar and enjoy a more confident buying experience. New, used, whatever you need. Go to TrueCar. Some features not available in all states.
Here at Podcast One, we love hearing from you. We read every tweet and comment you send our way, so don't miss your chance to take our summer listener survey. Just go to podcastone.com and click on the survey banner, or go to podcastone.com/mysurvey. It only takes a few minutes, and it gives you the opportunity to make a direct impact on your favorite shows. Tell us how you really feel, so we can get to know you better. We value your thoughts and participation, so check out the survey at podcastone.com/mysurvey, or click on the survey banner on podcastone.com.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
By the way, stat of the day brought to you by the great folks at Continental Tire. For what you do, how you do it, where you drive, what you drive, they've got a tire for you. ContinentalTire.com. Just got some new toys here. I got a Dale Jr. figurine when he won the Daytona 500. So it's a little doll. And then I've got a Patrick Ewing doll. Is it a doll? Like, what would you call these things?
Action figures?
An action figure.
Like the starting lineup ones they did for the football, little guys?
Yeah. Keep talking.
So, like, you got a Dale Earnhardt Jr. holding up the Daytona 500 trophy, and then you have Patrick Ewing, and it looks like he's shooting a shot left-handed, and Patrick was very much right-handed.
Yeah, so I got these in the mail, and I always appreciate this, that you have people who've collected these things, but yeah, I've got my Patrick Ewing, and then Dale Jr. Dale Jr. is going to join us here soon, isn't he, Paul?
In a couple of weeks in New York.
Okay, yeah, so Dale Jr. Winning the Daytona 500. So I'm running out of space here. I think we need to build an addition under this man cave here. I'm running out of space. I just don't know where I can put all this memorabilia that I have. Yes, Paul?
You could auction some off. Like that starting lineup by Patrick Ewing, you can get it online for $8.
Well, I don't want to give away something that somebody gave me. Yeah, people have trusted me with some great pieces of memorabilia that meant a lot to them.
If we had an auction of everything in this building, what do you think would go for the highest dollar amount?
Wow. I don't know if we have any one item that's really valuable, do we?
You got that piece of Yankee Stadium behind you, that light?
Yeah.
That seems hard to
But we used the wrong wattage in the light bulb, so it nearly burnt through the plastic. That was a big issue. I was not pleased with that.
We have a Lance Armstrong yellow jersey from the Tour de France. It's notorious, but they're hard to get. You can't get one. Lance didn't give them out.
The Landon Donovan jersey, he scored a goal against, Algeria?
No, I think that one is from Spain in the Confederation Cup, where they beat Spain a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, so that's not as valuable. The Fergie, when they were doing Fergie's dress or outfit for the Super Bowl, they made a bust of her, and so they were using that to fit her. And then the bust is interesting. It might be the Ryan Leaf autographed jersey, and that was before the draft. The Colts made up jerseys for Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf, and Ryan kept his Colts jersey even though Peyton was drafted by the Colts, and then he signed that for us. That's one of those where people, whenever they see it, they go, "Wait, Ryan Leaf played for the Colts?" And we go, "Nope." If they took him, that was his jersey, as they made up 2 jerseys. Yes, Paul?
The autograph side of Tony Stewart's burn-up, charred Daytona car.
That's pretty cool.
NASCAR fans will bid on that.
That's pretty cool. The Guar mask, I think, is one of a kind. And do the lights still light up there?
I believe they do.
Yeah. Usually when the hotline rings, Mario's going to do that. The lights will light up on the Guar mask. Well, they're supposed to.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff in here. I don't know if it's valuable. It's just interesting. There's a big difference. And yes, I took Lou Holtz out of the wrapper. People are like, take Lou Holtz out of the wrapper there. It's because I lost the glasses on the other Lou Holtz doll that I had, and I didn't want to lose those glasses. That's why I had him wrapped up. So I took him out of the package there. So there. Stop texting me and emailing me. Tweeting me. Let me see. Ernest in Arizona joins us. Hey, Ernest, what do you have for me today?
Oh, I got a good best and worst.
All righty.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I get a Monday off. But I turned 40 on this Monday.
Oh, happy birthday, Ernest.
Yeah, no, and I just want to tell you, this is a privilege and a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thank you. What else do you have?
And also, my Red Sox, I just really hope they can beat those Yankees this year.
All right. Well, good luck with that, Ernest. Astros are still the team to beat. It's like people, begrudgingly acknowledge the Astros still being very good. Yeah, still pretty good. They won 11 in a row, right? Or is it now 12 in a row?
It's 11 in a row.
11 in a row, right? So Red Sox, Yankees, Astros. Who's really good in the National League? Like Seattle, the Mariners aren't going away either, which is pretty amazing. Who is really good in the National League? Because it feels like there are a lot of really good teams in the American League. Did you see what your boy Bryce Harper did over the weekend, McLevin?
No.
I think he's batting like 218.
That's up from where it was. What did he do?
Nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
I'll take it. Staying out of trouble. Keep your nose clean. I like it, Bryce.
Maybe not going to get that $400 million contract that I thought he was going to get. Yes, Paul.
By the way, Dan, your Dodgers are getting close to taking over the West. The Cubs are about ready to go over the Braves. The Brewers, I should say.
All right.
Braves are still holding a nice 3.5 game lead on the Nationals.
That's it, right? We don't.
It's basically 6 good teams in the East.
Good teams, but no.
And I'm sorry, in the NL.
But no great teams in the National League, right?
The only team, run differential, the Cubs have outscored their opponents by the most of any team in the National League this season so far.
There's no buzz in the National League. Yeah, McLovin.
Looking at my guy Bryce Harper's game log, you might want to make some contact here. He's not even walking. 0 for 4, 0 for 5.
Oh, I know. He didn't do anything.
We'll see. I like the Nationals. They're going to come back.
But would you take Mookie Betts or Bryce Harper? You're still taking Bryce Harper, right?
Marketability, Bryce Harper.
Okay.
And by the way, are you sure? I feel like he's still going to get $400 million. He's so hot and cold.
Yeah, but I don't want to give $400 million to somebody hot and cold. Yeah, Paulie.
Which is harder to remember, that the Houston Astros are in the American League or that the Chargers are no longer in San Diego? Because the Houston Astros have been gone from the NFL for a while.
I think we forget about the Astros. We just call them the San Diego Chargers. We know they're not there.
Right.
Yeah. We know they're in Los Angeles. Well, some of us know they're in Los Angeles. Maybe 30,000 people know that they're in Los Angeles on a weekly basis. All right. So, Fritchie, you watched the Oprah interview with Tom Brady?
I watched it last night with my wife. And I didn't think he said anything exciting. She asked about the anthem, and he's like, we're all together. We appreciate each other's, concerns and, things going on in the world. I have a different perspective on losing. As horrible it is to lose, it doesn't take me as long to get past it, especially because of the support of my wife and kids. And I'm closer to the end of my career than the beginning of my career. It was like a whole lot of not much.
There's always this feeling that Brady can give you when he's at a press conference. And I think he did this in the Oprah interview, that he can look like he's really engaging and telling you something. And he might be engaging, but he's not telling you anything.
He was handsome and looked very in thought and as far as what he was going to say. But when he actually talked, it wasn't anything that he was going to go run to the newspaper or to Twitter that they just heard him say to Oprah.
Which is what everybody did by saying he's announced he's going to.
Oh, I know. Everybody went crazy. Like, did you hear what Brady said? He's close to retiring. Yes, he's 41.
Is that because it's just Tom Brady talking, or is it because he said it to Oprah that made people think that this must be newsworthy?
Yeah, both. Yeah. We assume Oprah's going to get something out of it. But I don't think that she got anything out of him. That if he did this interview with Aaron Andrews on Fox, I don't think anybody's going, oh my God, did you hear what Brady had to say? It's because Oprah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brady, is a quid pro quo there. Hey, I'd love to be in business with you. I'd love to be in business with you and your wife. I mean, why not? That's the next step here for him, and it's pretty close. A World Cup update quickly, Paulie.
Yeah, Dan, Belgium, who Seton has all his eggs in the Belgian basket.
Yeah.
Belgium 0, Panama 0 going into half.
That's 0-0.
0-0, Dan.
0-0. Okay. There's some surprises there. Yeah, I sent you guys a text because I'm not into the World Cup, and then Messi misses a penalty kick, and then I sent you a text, and I went, Missy, M-I-S-S-I's, if he missed the penalty kick, and I got crickets. So if you guys aren't going to text me back, then I'm not going to acknowledge it. No. Todd, I'm serious.
Like
no, I'm serious.
If I send a text, then it's like too many texts, so I don't need to hear from you on the weekend.
But you'll do a play-by-play of something I can watch.
I did appreciate Missy, and maybe I just didn't give you the love there and acknowledge it. I just kind of moved on to
Yes, McLovin.
Like, what's the appropriate response to that? It was a great headline. I didn't know what to say. I took it in. I appreciate it.
How about you just do a thumbs up, like I always do?
I've never used an emoji. I don't use those.
Because the thumbs up is such a blow-off.
Is there an emoji for somebody who doesn't do emojis? I think we need to come up with the emoji for the guy who doesn't do it.
Probably the basic smiley face or sad face.
Yeah, I do that too.
But yeah, you're big with the thumbs up now. All of a sudden.
But at least I acknowledge you.
That's worse than acknowledgement. I also get the fist bump emoji from some people.
I don't like that.
I can't even bother to put together a couple words to say to you. I'm just going to give you a thumbs up.
Or when a friend does a heart.
Oh, yeah.
No, a guy. And I go, no.
You know what your most famous response is?
K.
I can write like a 2,000-word essay bearing my feelings to you. You'd be like, K.
I'm glad I'm not the only one experiencing that.
What'd you learn today, Fritzy?
Our 12-year-old 83-pound caller Ethan's best of the weekend. He had donuts. He didn't really have a worst of the weekend.
What we learned brought to you by Traeger. Red, white, and barbecue. 4th of July. Contact a dealer near you. Visit TraegerGrills.com/dealers or ship one right to your door by ordering on the Traeger website. Thanks for the phone calls, emails, tweets. We'll be in New York tomorrow. And Wednesday, Dak Prescott stops by. Kevin Costner and Trey Young will join us in the Man Cave tomorrow. Talk to you then.
True crime fans rejoice. Small Town Murder is now on Podcast One. Crime and Sports' James Petrogallo and Jimmy Wisman look at small towns, what makes them tick, and the murders that took place there. In-depth research, horrible tragedy, and the host's comedic spin on the whole thing. What can go wrong? Subscribe to hear new episodes every Thursday on PodcastOne.com, the Podcast One app, and Apple Podcasts.
Immigration fight. I'm Tim McGuire with an AP News Minute. House Republican leaders say they will continue working on a comprehensive immigration bill, even as President Trump says lawmakers should wait until after the midterm elections. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy says it's important that Congress address the issue now. Congressional Democrats continue to sharply criticize the president. Maryland Congressman Steny Hoyer.
He is taking infant children hostage, wrenching them from the arms of their parents.
Tacoma, Washington police, using DNA collected from a 12-year-old who was murdered more than 30 years ago, have made a cold case arrest. Police Chief Don Ramsdell says his investigators got the word earlier this week.
The lab contacted us with a match between the original DNA and the sample collected from Gary Hartman.
The 66-year-old Hartman is in custody, charged with murder of Michaela Ward. She was last seen riding her bike in 1986. I'm Tim McGuire.